Right. So, one, I'm sorry. Apparently I'm being blamed for the delay, and sorry about that. Um,
Ooh.
yeah. Well, if the checkout line at Giant was a little bit faster, and people weren't so insane about going through like the express self checkout with an entire cart full of stuff, I would have been here faster. That being said, though, Radix, did you get a chance to view?
I watched the session.
Okay, so, and you got my memo?
Yes.
Copy that. All right, so we are in Danla, and we are back. It's a fresh day, whole new day. Radix has come to the. Radix, when you come to, you find yourself in a hut, and you
Which hut?
are.
The one that I was stolen from?
You're in. Hold on, I'll label this a funky. I don't know.
Okay.
You're in J hut.
Okay.
Because that's the letter I hit. And
It's my first name.
yeah, there we go. See, it's coincidence. It's fortuitous.
Sure.
Yeah. So, you're in J hut, and when you come to, you find there are two female gnolls that have been fussing over you, and you notice that there is a cot next to you, that there is a Kalash Tarin that they have also been fussing over to ensure that you guys are both healthy and taken care of, things of that nature. You would find that there are bandages on your wrists with like salves and stuff on them, like herbs, and that's it. And it is now your floor.
Okay.
You remember?
Where am I?
Shh, now you're okay.
That wasn't what I asked.
You're safe. You're safe. You're in Danla.
Okay. Okay. What happened?
Bad things. Don't worry yet. You need your rest.
Apparently, I've been resting. That still didn't answer my question. What bad things?
Your friends know. They brought you back. You're safe now.
Well, find one of them, please.
We'll send somebody. Rest.
Okay, so I'll kind of tip my head up, since I'm assuming I'm laying back, and kind of look around. And I'm assuming I see the Kalash Tar next to me. What else am I noticing?
You would notice that there are Can you cover them?
I thought they were covered.
Half covered. We must cover the noisemakers.
Give me a minute.
You would notice there are, it looks like almost bookcases, but instead of books, there's vials and dried herbs and things like that, just all over the place in the room.
Okay.
You would see bandages piled in the corner. Some of them would actually have blood on them.
Okay. I'll kind of gesture over to the bloodied bandages and say, were those mine?
No. You're fine. You'll be fine. You need a little rest. You're a little weak.
Were those his?
They were.
What day is it? How long have I been gone and out?
Just a day, darling. Just a day. It's, in all actuality, it hasn't even been a day. It's been like a night.
Okay.
Technically. Like they brought you back the evening prior to this morning.
Okay. My head. How long is it going to be to send someone?
A young one just went to fetch them. It'll be just a moment. It's not even daylight yet. Just rest.
And with that, I'll kind of just slowly start to sit myself up.
She like puts a hand on your forehead and tries to push you back down. Rest.
I,
Thanks, Lucy.
I just need to sit to get my bearings. I can lay later. I can still rest sitting in the sitting position.
Fine, but if you get yourself out of that bed, I will knock you out.
And I'll gesture to the Kalashtar. Was he here before me, or
He came
what?
with you, dear, with you. He's not with you guys?
No,
He returned with you.
I don't know who this is. Have they woken since they came back?
Have you or has he? I'm confused.
The person next to me, have they awoken since they were brought here?
No, he's not woken up yet. He's stirred some. He's in a great deal of pain.
Okay, were my companions well when they came back?
I'm eating some phenomenal drug.
They are. They look very tired, but they came back very well.
Okay.
Druggy noodles? It's a Thai thing.
Then, yeah, I guess I'll just kind of continue to just monitor the room and the goings on and wait until someone comes to give me actual answers.
Check it out. They're fantastic.
Okay. I just typed it in IRC because I didn't know how long we were gonna go on. But apparently Odom is immediately heading over to the Hut J.
Yeah, I don't think that's really what they're made of.
Okay. Is he in the hut yet, or by it, or whatever?
Yeah, sure. We'll say it doesn't take long to get over there anyway. The young one that came up to you Odom, is following behind, like right behind you, all the way over to the hut. Follows in right behind you and everything, and then goes and sits in one of the corners, and starts you see him just like grinding herbs and things like that. And when you walk in, you would see Roji sitting up in his cot and the Kalashtar out cold, and the two elderly women, or elderly gnolls, taking care of them.
Well, to be fair, I think
I'll
so that we could
glance up and say, what happened?
I'll walk over to his bedside and just sort of shrug off the pack that I still have on my back. That's his. I'll say, someone grabbed you in the night, managed to do it quietly. We tracked them down. They had a complex out in the woods. We cleared it out as much as we could and found you and this guy tied up in one of the rooms.
So, you found who did it then?
No, actually, the complex was pretty much empty. There were some cobalt snakes in there. We killed one. We think there's a room full of young ones that we didn't bother trying to get into. But other than that, it was empty. So whoever perpetrated it is still out there.
I'm pretty sure. I don't think there is a process.
Any guesses?
I would venture that it's probably our target.
But I think anyone can
He seems to be involved in everything like this.
I see.
That's pure speculation, however.
Okay. And everyone else?
Everyone else is
back?
Everyone else is fine, yeah. You were taken. We didn't actually have much trouble at the site you were at. The one fight we did have, we managed to get through without any real harm coming to anybody.
Good. And this fellow here, I point to the Kalishtar. What's his deal?
No idea. He
I
was.
think he probably says you.
There was you, he, and one other person who didn't make it, who were all tied up in the same room. So we took you and the one who was still alive and brought him back. We figured, if nothing else, he was the enemy of our enemy. So
I see. So just yet another person caught to, be a casualty. Shame.
While you guys are talking, the Kalashtar starts to moan and starts saying Shalari, Shalari, very slowly, and then fades back out.
Shalari. Why does that sound familiar? Dear notes, where's my stuff?
don't think that's a name we've run across before. I hope it wasn't the one that we left behind.
Yeah, I think it probably was the one we left behind, but I don't have anything written down that we ran across them. That doesn't necessarily mean anything.
That name has not come up yet.
Okay, I was about to say it's nothing in my notes.
And the one we left behind because it was dead.
Yep.
Yep.
Shame on you, Arlie. Shame on you and your
It
goodness.
was all I could do to save you guys and not have them tear apart the whole place and risk your deaths.
We had 2 wounded. Now we're going to go back and just purge the entire complex. Down to
With
ashes.
holy fire, yes.
Yeah.
I have a streak in me that hails of mighty retribution.
Oh yeah, no, I'm fine with going back now. It was just at the time.
Yeah.
All right, so is Odom still filling you in on what happened, or?
Yeah, just the random tidbits. Nothing that really needs to be delved more into than necessary.
Okay. During the length of your conversation with him, the sun has begun to rise.
Okay.
Just so you can kind of get an idea of what time it is now.
A day or two. We've all been there.
Okay. I kind of motion to Oda, help me outside. I would prefer to see a welcoming sight of the rising sun.
I'll
You
put out a
have
hand.
your moments.
And as I'm
Okay.
helping him up, I'll pull out one of his staves and hand it to him. So he can help him wiggle himself out.
You notice the elderly Knoll looks at you and goes to say something, and then looks at Odom and shakes her head and walks away.
Okay, yeah, I'll just go outside the tent, kind of bask in the dawn of a good new day of fortune or whatever. And yeah,
Okay.
just take in the village for what it is and what's happening, I guess.
Okay. As shortly after you step outside, the young one steps out behind you and makes a mention to Odom, but also kind of to you at the same time, because he's not, you can tell he's unsure if this is something he should say to you as well. But he makes the statement that he's heading over to put food out at the inn if either of you are hungry. And then he scurries off to off towards the inn, in the direction of the inn, to prepare everything.
Okay. Where's my map? Where are we again? Danla?
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Okay, remind me really quickly again, off topic of what's going on. Was our initial
As will the
plan to go to Sayadin first? Or to Ezer's?
We were going to talk to people here. Basically, we got to Danla, decided we were going to crash for the night and figure things out in the morning. In the morning, you'd been yanked. So we went off to try and get you, and we haven't gotten around to that yet.
Okay. Okay. It's been a couple weeks for me, so just wanted to make sure I got things straight. Okay. And so I'll start to make my way over to the inn, I suppose, slowly. And the inn is the purple ring, yes?
Yep.
You got it.
Alright.
Yeah, the basic idea was we figured that there's a portal inside and a portal in Ezer's. And
Yeah.
we figured the guy's either in Lego right now, and he'll port down to Sidon and head to Ezer's to get to Ledlia, or he'll go the other way. So we just needed to figure out which direction he came through the last time, so we'd know which direction to head.
Right. Okay. And I have an idea that we could accomplish with that, but we can get into that in character. Okay. I'll kind of enter the tent and give my quick acknowledgement to the other two, just the head nod, and go to sit.
Okay. I don't know if the other two are even awake yet.
Okay.
If the sun's rising, then I'm in my area doing my meditation thing.
Okay.
I am nowhere to be found.
Oh, because you're invisible.
Is the panther around?
You need to tie a bell on his neck or something.
I know.
Yes.
Can someone put a freaking bell on him?
Where'd
We
that
had a
lantern
light
go?
on him, but you guys had to just get rid of that.
Yeah, I know.
The panther is also nowhere to be found.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Is there someone else in the tent besides Arlie?
No.
Okay. I'll kind of poke it, point at her and say, "Have you seen Hawthorne?"
No, I have not.
Okay.
I'm gonna head over to Hawthorne's room the moment I hear that, and just make sure that there's no slit in the back of his section of the tent.
Touche.
And again, it's slit, not slut.
Slut, the past term of slit.
All right. When you get to Hawthorne's room, it is a mess.
Oh no.
Is he normally like
And
that?
is there a slit in the back of the tent?
Upon close examination, yes, you would find a slit, a cut in the tent.
Son of a bitch.
Okay, so I'm going to step back out and just sort of pause for a moment and say, this time, we're crushing every single piece of their embankment because we can't let this happen again.
Alright, before we head out, we should talk to the
Village
healer
people.
person to get
Arlie.
some of whatever the...
Hold on, Arlie. Did Odom come and get you from your meditations after this?
Well, he had gotten me because he asked me if I'd seen Hawthorne.
Okay.
I asked you that.
I didn't
Yeah.
know who was where.
So you're all in
Oh,
a
yeah.
room together?
Well, we're all in the inn. It's just,
Alright.
like,
And then-
he would have asked if she'd seen Hawthorne, and then I would have just immediately gone, oh, no, and gone to check.
From the side of the tent, you kind of hear a faint giggle.
Not in character, but fucking fairies.
Squish the fairy!
Pixie. He's a pixie.
Butterfly.
I know. Sorry.
First, now I've promised to crush those responsible for this, so if this is a prank,
That means Hawthorne's responsible and you should crush Hawthorne.
that is where I was going with that.
I can get behind that logic.
I'll kind of shout out, but just raise my voice a little and say, if this is a prank, I'm in no mood for this.
You hear more giggling.
If I find you, I'm going to eat you.
The first time
Hold on, what was it you guys decided? You'd have 10 minutes worth of air?
Yep.
Yeah. That's the official answer, yes. As of 3.5, there was no definitive ruling on it for 4th edition.
I'll go with 10 minutes. That sounds good. So where exactly do they hear this giggling?
Just from the side of the tent. Inside, but just over to the corner. Not like there's a corner in a round tent, but...
If there was, you found it.
Like the area opposite your room, or...
Let's see. Wait a minute.
10 feet to
All
the
of
right.
Roji's stuff was left behind. So is Hawthorne's stuff lying around?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I better pick that up, and I'll store that away.
Yeah. Good idea.
Oh, thieving from a thief.
I'm holding it for him.
Yeah.
In his mouth. He's holding it.
Very good idea.
Okay, and I'm just going to do my best educated guess and assume he's there now since I hear the giggling or whatever. And it's responded to our commentary. I'm just gonna, reach for a bit of the food and just sit down and settle down and with all the fewest cares that I can muster.
Okay.
We all heard the giggling?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go back to meditating.
Having pushed it too far, but feeling he pushed it just far enough, Hawthorne becomes visible and goes, "Ha! Gotcha."
I throw a handful of seaweed or whatever at him.
I duck.
Okay, Tor.
I was going to give him a chance to roll to hit to see if it actually hits you.
The next time there's a lantern and it gets stuck to him, go find Lamb's Bud. Just let him keep it.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Actually, screw it. I'm freaking rolling this. What is my basic range? Good for you. It's not high, but no, that's not gonna hit at all. Never mind. That's gonna be a 16.
I don't even have to move.
Probably to reflex, yeah.
It lands in front of him and he just stares at you. All right.
Use fire. Use fire.
I do have fire, by the way.
I know.
All right. So, Arlie, you went back to your area and went back into your meditations, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Is the panther now? Is Carlin in the?
He walks in the front of the tent.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I was kind of assuming that you just sent him away to the Feywild or something.
Yeah.
No, he was just hiding behind the tent.
Oh no. Okay. And are you then joining them for meal?
Yes. As if nothing ever happened.
Okay. By the way, you would have seen
Pixie humor is an acquired taste.
You would have seen Odin put your stuff in his mouth.
I would like my stuff back.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You're gonna have to earn it doing chores.
I saw you put it in your storage.
How do I even know you're Hawthorne?
Oh. Yeah, it could be a fake Hawthorne. We should test him somehow.
Go ahead. Test me. I used to sneeze myself invisible.
Anybody could find that out.
Yeah, I'm not involved in this. I'm just.
You would have had a hell of a time in the tree without someone to pick the locks for you last night.
The tree?
Yeah, remember it was a fake tree that we went into?
Oh, right, it was a fake tree.
Well, the doors were made of wood, and I do have a big axe.
True.
Okay, you would have had a hell of a time doing it quietly.
out of character, but rescue quests that are full of vengeance don't need to be quiet. Just brutal.
Brutal would have been probably bad with the, what did we find, 2 to 3 dozen cracked open eggs.
Yeah.
It might have been bad.
I look over at Roji and goes, was the other one awake when you got up?
No, he is out still, but he did mumble something. I forget what was it. Shalari, was that the word?
Correct.
He did mumble that. Does that mean anything to either of you?
Oh, actually, I think he did mumble that when we originally, were getting him.
I see. Was it the person that you also found?
I'm
the
guessing.
Unfortunate soul?
Yeah.
They were a corpse when we found them, so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Didn't exactly have a chance to question them.
Casualty of war. Okay. But no, the healers were still kind of fretting over him and were changing some of his bloodied bandages. So I wasn't sure as the extent of the wounds when you had found them or not.
Yeah, you both were pretty bad off, so I think he was a little worse.
Doing story quests.
The male was actually was pretty much unconscious the entire time.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel it might be pertinent to, stick around at least until we can talk to this other person. But in the meantime, it might be worth re-examining our plans to find and acquire Vestarka. Is that it?
Vestarka.
Jerk face.
Yeah.
Mini poo-poo head.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not entirely comfortable with leaving this, whatever this threat is here. They seem to be able to come in without the noticing of the gnolls around us and leave without anybody noticing, which has me concerned on what they might do when we leave.
We could ask and see if this has even been a problem beforehand, because if it's not, then it could just be us that was targeted.
Possible. Oh, I need to check with one of the other guys too. His whole, the whole herb garden got trampled. I wanted to make sure everything was alright there. He was able to save anything.
Not sure it's connected to us specifically, because this Kalashtar looked like he was taken before you were.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's something we can ask the locals, and if it's been a problem, that's something we can investigate. And while I would love to solve any and all problems of this world that are troubling others, we should also think of the more imminent threat. Triage the situation, if you will.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's just, I don't want to, if we cause the problem, I don't want to leave a potentially bigger problem. Like, just because we leave, it might not mean that they'll be left alone, you know?
Right.
May also be that this is connected back to Vestarka at some level. Most of the other similar things that we've seen so far have been connected back to him at some point.
Yes, I mean, it's so... I don't know if it's necessarily the terribleness inflicted upon us all from our own world that everything is so nice here. It's almost off-putting, and it's so difficult to trust that this is real.
Yeah.
Well, it was all nice until you got taken and shackled.
Well, I'm saying as a generality, everyone is friendly, and everyone is willing to help. Everyone is all for the goodness of the common man, that kind of thing. Whereas back in our home world, if you were being mugged, well, you look the other way for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just something we should be mindful of.
So at that point, do we go back to the tree? Do we head one of the two directions we had originally planned? And if we go one of those directions, which one?
First, we should wait until the guy wakes up so we can talk to him and see what information he can share with us.
Also,
he should have some idea why he was taken.
Mm-hmm.
Also, to elaborate on that even more so, we can ask A, the townspeople whether or not this is an ongoing problem, and B, we never actually got the chance to even ask them the information about Vestarka, which is partially of why we came here.
Most of the towns we've visited too have been relatively homogenous racially. So like here it seems to be mostly Knolls, in Shev it was mostly Dragonken. We haven't seen Kalashtar before, so either this guy's a traveler, in which case he may have seen more things along his way, or was brought into that location from some other region. Mm-hmm. And either way, it's going to make a difference as far as where we go from here.
Mm-hmm. So I would say just for the time being, recuperate until the other individual wakes up. And during that time, we can investigate any questions and whatnot with the locals.
Okay.
Yeah. That is my take on it.
It is about mid-morning now.
Well, we should go out and see what we can find out.
Are you guys all going to exit and travel it as a pack to these people, or are you going to split apart and go different directions?
I'm going my own way.
Go your own way.
Yeah, I'm gonna go next door first, and then go over to the hut to check on the guy.
Okay.
Okay. I'm just gonna kind of chill out for a little bit.
Okay.
There.
You know, rough night.
Right.
Ah, whatever. Stop being a weenie.
And what is Odom up to?
I'm going to head around with Agira.
Cool.
Okay.
Pack of two. Roar.
Not intimidating at all.
Right, so my first stop is to go over and talk to E.
Okay. Are you able to move yourself tonight?
Yes, I am. It's fantastic. Yay. Ta-da! It's a miracle.
All right. When you get there, you see him tilling up some of the ground. in patches.
Awesome.
And you'll see patches of dirt here and there.
I greet him and just say, I was just wanting to check if you were able to salvage anything from yesterday.
Some, not as much as I would have liked. It's turned into more work than I've seen in a long time.
I wish I knew more about plants to help you, but we're working on figuring out what did this, so hopefully it won't happen again.
Well, when you find out, give him a good smack from me.
I will.
And do more than give him a smack.
Yay.
He looks up at you, Odom, and then kind of like gets like a fearful look in his eye and goes back real quickly to taking care of his garden like, oh crap.
Alright. You said that the healer thing was in J?
That is correct.
Alright. So that'll be the next spot. Whoops, no! Crap.
What'd you do?
Nothing. You saw nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Go over there. And I just greet whatever Noel seems to be running things in there and inquire about the other guy we brought back and see if he's awake.
The younger of the two older ladies that are in there taking care of him approaches you and says, "You've got really good timing. He was just coming to and asking about you guys. Something about some large..." She goes, "I'm guessing he meant him," and points to Odom.
Probably. Can we talk to him?
If you're very quiet, I don't want him riled up.
That's fine. Yep.
She kind of shuffles herself aside and lets you in. You see that Radix's cot has been taken care of and kind of like cleaned up and put up. So where his cot was is not so much stuff anymore. The cot's not there. The blankets aren't there. Everything's kind of pushed against the wall in a nice little pile.
Is there anywhere to sit near where he is?
There are some crates essentially that you could like pull over and flip upside down. They're empty. That you could flip over and upside down and sit on.
Cool. I grab a crate and walk over and give him a little bow and say, "My name is Agira. Glad to see you're awake." And then put down the crate and sit on it.
When you get over to him, you see him he's on his side, propped up on one elbow, slowly sipping what looks like maybe a broth or a tea. He just kind of nods at you.
Do you know who took you or why they might have taken you?
We'd been down there a long time.
Any idea how long?
From what the Knolls tell me, it was probably close to 2 years.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's not good. Who is keeping you down there?
We never saw their faces. We never really saw them. They would put this stuff in the room. She said it was some kind of a toxin that I don't really know. She said it was going to knock us out. We weren't going to be awake. And then when we'd come to, our bodies would hurt, and it was just weird. And sometimes there would be food and we'd be on the floor, and sometimes we would be beaten and hung back up.
Do you remember them questioning you at all?
There was never questions, never words, nothing.
That's strange.
Where is she?
Do you mean the other one that was down there with you?
Yes, my wife.
She didn't make it.
Look at Odom go! Come on!
He looks up at Odom, because I'm assuming Odom's still standing.
Yep.
Yeah.
He looks up at Odom, and you just see tears hit his eyes, and he's like, I couldn't expect more from you, but yet I wish I could. And he just starts, like, you just see tears come down his face.
I tell him I'm so sorry. We wanted to be able to take all of you, but it was all we could do to get you and our friend out who were still alive. We couldn't get her at the time.
My father will send for her body.
Well, we were thinking about perhaps going back and trying to figure out who these people are or what they were doing. And if we are able to do that, we can try to recover her body as well.
If you get there before my father does, he will not be okay with any of this.
None of us are okay with any of this.
No.
How is your friend? The one the Knowles say was injured with me, that you found with me.
He's doing better. He's up and around and talking, but he's very tired as well. But he was only taken for a day, so.
Does he know why they took him?
Didn't seem to.
Guessing it's trade season again.
What do you mean?
It's the only reason anybody comes here. Trade season. It's when we were here.
Well, it's supposed to be off of trade season right now.
It's not quite trade season yet.
It's strange. You see like his eyes just kind of trail off from you, and he's deep in thought and not saying anything, just kind of mumbling a little under his breath and thinking heavily.
Okay. I'll get up and thank him for his time, and we'll check on him again later, but we'll let him rest for now.
Okay.
As we're leaving, I kind of do one of those to Odom on the shoulder. Come on! You can't just tell a person his wife is dead. It's not okay.
It would be better to lie to him and drag it out.
No, but you can soften it and like gradually break it and make it like, not such a she's dead. Gentle. Gentle giant. Alright. And I think from there I'll head back to relay to Roji what we found out. Yeah.
When you return to talk to Roji, a young Knoll is in there cleaning up the common area of the inn. And he overhears you talking to Roji. And he goes, "You mean the prince? You guys are talking about the prince, aren't you? Don't tell him I'm talking about him, but I'm so excited he's back."
Prince?
You didn't know? Was I not supposed to say? I don't want to get in trouble. And he like runs out of there, dropping like half of what he was holding in his hands, like petrified that he spoke up when he shouldn't have spoken.
As he's running, can I use one of my invoker utilities?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll roll with it.
It's basically shit. What is that WoW ability called? The opposite of Death Grip. The priests have the.
No, priests have Life Grip.
Yeah, that I have that.
So you're gonna pull him back to you
with range 10. Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to do that.
All right.
And so, I'm gonna.
You're gonna yank him back to you.
You're gonna terrify him half to death.
Okay.
From my sitting casual position, just. And, just very lightly but firmly, hand on the shoulder, said, no, 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 no. You don't get to say this sort of thing and just leave with it. This is important.
He's trembling. He's petrified. And he tells you maybe you should talk to one of the adults. Please, I don't want to get in trouble, please.
Why would you get in trouble?
If I'm not supposed to say, I can't. Please don't. I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to get in trouble. Please no. And he's trembling. He is petrified that he's going to get in trouble.
Calm down. Nothing is going to happen to you with us. Just tell us what you are going to say, and then we will handle everything else.
But if
be at ease.
But if my daddy and my mommy find out, and then I'm not supposed to talk, and I spoke, and then I'm not supposed to, and then I get in trouble.
I'll kind of very almost even just whisper, hardly even a whisper, just children. I will say again, just I'll deal with your mom and dad. Don't worry about getting in trouble. You are safe with us. It's okay.
I don't live with you.
We will talk to your mom and dad.
You get there okay, and I'll talk to you. I'm not talking to you before that. I don't want to get in trouble. It hurts when I'm in trouble.
Where are your mom and dad?
They're in the farm. They're in the farm, and I'm just helping out because the other boy is sick. And he starts crying. He is now bawling.
Where's the farm? I'm doing this as soft-spokenly as I freaking can.
I'm gonna turn to Agira and say, "Why are we being soft and gentle again?"
I know. I'm just waiting for him.
He's crying.
Him too much.
I'm just waiting for Odom to be like, "Why are you doing this?" Hanging by his foot.
The entire reason Odom is just standing here through all this is because Agira lambasted him for being too blunt.
Well, I'm imagining the scene from what was it, The Dark Knight or something, where he's like, "Where is he?" Like hanging over the building side.
Yeah.
If you've ever played the Arkham City games, part of the whole thing is you have to question guys to find stuff, and the way it goes every single time, and this happens dozens of times, is you grab the guy, you're like, "Where is this stuff?" And he's like, "Oh my god, here's all the stuff," and he's like, "Good, bang!" And drops the guy. Like, there's never a time when Batman doesn't knock the guy unconscious and leave him.
So, again, quietly, where's the farm so we can talk to your mom and dad?
He points out the tent and everything, and he goes, I take you to him. I take you.
Is it the one right next to where we are?
No, if you actually look on the map, I marked the green area that says Boy's Farm.
Okay, cool. That works.
It's at this point where I wish I was like an enchantment wizard where I can just like wipe the boys like mind or whatever and just be like, "Stop it, tell me what I want to know," and mold his
So I was
mind.
like, I want to cast Soothe.
And then the B is the hut to that farm.
Alright, I need to get a clinic, so be right back in a second.
I'll be right here. You know what that means? Cookie time.
Cookies! I don't have any cookies.
This is why I was at the store. I'd feed you one, but it would affect my router.
Just like stuff it through your webcam, it'll work. It looks like a chocolate chip cookie.
It is. It's delicious.
Awesome.
Okay, character select.
Meanwhile, Emerus is throwing seed at Silras.
Okay, I'm going down to the farm.
Yep, I'll go with him. Is that where Hawthorne is actually at?
I am actually down here.
Awesome.
Yeah, he did a streetwise check like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, and I got the information from it.
Oh.
I have more fun, like, when you guys do stuff like this, telling one person what they need to know, and then letting you guys role play out, like, sharing the information.
Yeah.
It's just more fun that way. As much as you may not
is.
like it.
Oh, I had fun. I had to punch the golem.
What the hell is wrong with you?
Jeez, man. Yeah,
Metal, I don't have a heart.
the young one follows you, or actually leads you down to the farm where his parents are. When the mother sees the boy coming, she like wraps him in her arms and looks at them and goes, "What did he do?"
Where are the mother and father or whatever?
Hold on.
Oh, yeah. Because that's who I'd want to approach.
A is the father, I is the mom, J is the boy.
Yeah.
I don't have a whole lot of space to work with, so otherwise,
I know.
I'm not zooming in for this.
Yeah.
I see the three come down with the boy. The mother grabbed the boy and turned to the three of them and go, "All right, what'd you do?"
Your kin is afraid that he will be punished for speaking to us.
She pulls him back from her and looks at him and goes, "Why would you be in trouble for talking?" And he's mumbling through his breath.
Sly grin on my face.
Yeah, he mumbles through his breath about mentioning something about the Clash Tar and everything, and not wanting to upset everybody, about speaking when he should be speaking and things like that. And she just kind of nods and goes, "I understand. Go into your room. Go into your room." She turns to you and explains.
That sounds like a punishment. No, I'm kidding.
He's been in trouble before for talking when adults are talking and overhearing what adults are saying and speaking about it. And he shouldn't be mentioning what adults are saying. So he's learning manners, and it's a process. He's little.
I turn to the other three and I say, while you two were apparently browbeating a child, I was talking to their parents here, and I think I found out where we need to go.
I lean over to the mother and go, "I'm trying to teach this one manners too." Point at Odom.
She smiles at you and chuckles.
Elaborate,
manners are.
Hawthorne.
I just think they're silly.
They just informed me here that the Kalash Tar we rescued happens to be a prince from Sidon.
Oh, the woman who was with him was his wife.
Which happens to be the one direction we thought about going.
I see.
But he was kidnapped 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I see.
So,
he didn't have any information about who took him or why they took him, and he said they were never questioned, just tortured.
I happen to remember, apparently, that 2 years ago was about the time that they said Vestarka came through.
Interesting.
And did Odom somehow lose his O on the map?
He apparently has deleted himself. Odom, hit O.
Well, now he's just the big outer O.
Alright, stop touching stuff, Odom.
I see a red box in the middle of his circle.
Okay, I don't know what the hell happened with my system there, but
It's because you double clicked on your letter.
no, it wasn't that. Like, I understood what happened with my letter because I just didn't click off of it before I started typing. But my entire map screen went white, and I have no idea why.
Oh, no es bueno.
So, yeah, so if 2 years ago, this guy's taken from a town that just happens to be in control of one of... I kind of turn and look at the boy's parents, scooch in a little closer to the three, and I'm like, just happens to be in control of one of the portals.
You hear
And
the father
ruling
pipe
family
in.
likely had some knowledge of that portal.
You hear the father pipe in and go, "We know of the portals. In fact, we are the only family in this town that do know of them and have used them."
Oh?
I'll kind of perk up at that. You know Vestarka and his use of these. It was rumored that he has come through here at some point. Are you familiar with this?
We don't know. Would you say
Vestarka. Vestarka. He's a human. If you are familiar with that.
I'm familiar with neither, but we are familiar with the portals because we are part of that sect.
Can you elaborate on sect?
Red Hoods?
The portals are maintained by a group. That's the best way I can explain it.
I'll nod at this.
There are few of us now. When the portals were many, we were many. The portals are few, we are now few.
Are you a druidic order?
There are druids in the order.
The Druish princess! Wait, no. Something else.
Druish is a little bit different.
Love you guys.
Alright. So, I was thinking that we should probably go back to where we found you guys and check it out more and see if we can find out more about the people who took these people. Because it does seem to be related at this point. Who's watching TV?
Sorry. That's me. I am still listening. It's
We
just
hear
that
some giggling and some laughter and some chatter.
I
That's
keep
all we
hearing
hear.
this background sounds.
I'm watching The League.
Oh, that is a funny show.
Okay, sorry. Continue. Go back to, the tree fort.
Yes.
So the treadmill you just...
If you're heading to the tree fort, or to the tree place where you found the prince, you should know that a missive has already been sent to his father, and it will be very quickly dispatched and tended to.
He did mention that.
Especially since who they are and what they can do, I'm sure his father already knows.
As if it's a giant revelation, Hawthorne pipes in. If he's the prince, that would make his dad the king.
Is there some sort of reward?
Good job, Butterfly.
We rescued him. He could be worth money.
Okay. The Knoll family looks over at Hawthorne and they just kind of shake their heads about him and turn back to the three of you. And they're like, if you're wanting to know more about the portals, him or his father would be the one to talk to. They manage the portal completely in Scioden.
Oh, yeah, I told you.
Oh.
It's why they are who they are.
Oh, Oh, so maybe that was why they were taken then.
We don't know. We know, well, what we had told your
Shit.
little friend, that it was trade season 2 years ago. The prince and his wife came in with their caravan to sell their goods and trade things, and then it was them and probably close to 20 other people went missing.
Are they like a merchant king or queen? Is that how I'm understanding this? Is it like a merchant city?
Silent?
Yes, I'm not understanding why a prince would go and sell wares. That is very foreign to us.
He came with their caravan. I think he came for buying purposes, not for selling.
I see.
It's typical from Syodan for someone of the royal family to come. A couple years prior, their son came with them.
They have a son.
Indeed, their son and the queen were here this last trade season.
Was the son taken?
Not that we know of.
I see.
Only his parents may have given them some control over the either their parents or their child.
Valid point.
Not direct ransom, but just do what we say or else.
Yes. Which may also impacted the king as well. And
you see the male gnoll turn to the female, nod, and the female runs into the home, and you hear some rummaging in maybe a wooden box or something. And she comes back out with a it looks like a small piece of almost like twine, but it's not tan. It's more of like a blue color. And she hands it to Roji and says, if you go to Syodan, give this to the king.
Wait, but
if nobody will let you to see the king, show them this and they will let you through.
I thought he was heading over this way because of the missive sent by his son.
well, word was sent, but that was it. Right?
Yeah, word was sent, but they are powerful.
If a king gives orders, his army does as he commands, do they not?
Yes.
Doesn't always mean the king goes to war.
Okay, so we're back to he might not be coming, his army might be coming. Okay.
And this was that in character or out of character?
That's out of character.
Okay, just making sure, because
He'd likely say it.
If it was in character, I'd just blurt it out.
okay, just checking. Yeah. So there you have it.
I see.
If these were the royal couple, we may want to take another stop out at that tree fort just so we can recover the body.
That's a very good thing. And also look at further anything that was missed.
Yeah, I would imagine we would do a more thorough cleansing and try and do as much damage as we possibly could.
And I'd like to bring these, whoever they are, to justice. Such as that it is in this place.
The Knoll family nods at all of you and states, we should be back to work. Word cannot spread that we know what we know. Would not be good. They nod very quickly and rush off.
I thank them as they're leaving.
Well, technically, you can put the corpse in your bag.
Wait a minute, what?
I have no idea where Zill's coming up with that, but
What?
I was
confused.
we are not liquefying a corpse and getting me to drink it.
I'm confused. Can someone enlighten me on this?
No, I don't think you want to.
Why? I just want to know why we're talking about a corpse.
The
We
girl
were talking about going
that
back for the
moved
corpse.
back, we're
The
going back
princess?
Got it. Copy that.
there.
No, we're going to murder the Knoll family for what they know.
Just
No fucking
You can't let them
witnesses.
go free.
checking.
They
Just
know
checking.
too much.
Just checking.
This really should have been an evil campaign.
No. No.
If this is a
Especially
good
Syl.
campaign, what the hell?
Syl should have been part of the evil campaign.
What? What'd I do?
Alright.
Oh no. Okay. So the Knoll family rushes back off. The father rushes down, heads off down to the farmland and begins to tend to the field. The mother goes in to take care of the son who was sent off to his room.
I look at the other ones and we're like, so are we agreed we're heading back then?
Yes, I personally would like to get a more first-hand view of it.
An
We should
awake
tell the
view?
prince before we go.
Yes.
I also still think before we go, we should check about getting some of whatever cured the knockouted toxin stuff. In case they use it on us.
Like the, with the
I'm not sure if we had a
I've heard
cure
of it.
for it or if we just waited for it to wear off.
It's actually really
Yeah,
good.
I'm not sure. That's why I want to check.
This is the first I've heard of it, so I kind of perk up and go, knockout toxin?
First 2 chapters were
Yeah, there was whoever, so he said whoever came into the room, there was this like noxious toxin thing that made them go to sleep, and when they woke up they would be in various other places, so they never got a good look at the people who took them, and most of the time they were unconscious.
Great.
That's a shame.
That's helpful.
Yeah, that's also why we were unable to revive either one of them when we got them.
Okay. So, let's... I was assuming we'd probably come back here afterwards, so did we just want to gather a quick few necessities and then go back?
Speaking of necessities, can I have my stuff?
They're
Fine.
safely here with
I'll
you.
pull it out and hand it to him.
Is it slimy? I just want to know if you just hand him a soaked, nasty bag.
Please be slimy. Just
The
this
bag of
once.
holding, it's fine.
I am an efficient paragon of metal and stone. I don't have these weird icky fluids in me that you guys do.
Alright, next time we gotta set up something so that as you're taking it out, water pours on it so it'll be all wet when you take it out.
I'm just imagining, like, Bender from Futurama with, like, a hose coming out of his mouth and spewing, like, motor oil on stuff.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking.
All right, so are you guys heading back to the inn? Are you heading back to the Kalashtar? Where are you heading?
I'm going to J and then the inn.
Okay, so you're going to the Kalashtar and then to the inn. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going.
Why are we going to the inn?
Well, actually,
Grab our
I think it'd be
stuffs.
I'm going to go to J because I would like to see the Kalashtar guy since I haven't awake yet. So I'm gonna mosey. Yeah, I am moseying. Moseyed.
You put yourself right where I was about to put myself.
Tough shit.
Gosh dang it.
Apparently you were too slow.
I'm perked up and ready to go after, being knocked out.
Right. So, what's Hawthorne doing?
You
I guess
squishy's leaving your stuff everywhere.
if they're all going that way, I'll go that way too.
Okay. When you arrive there, you see the Klashtar sitting up in bed. His feet are like he's sitting cross-legged on the cot, and the female gnolls are arguing with him that he should be laying down, he should be resting. They are literally yelling at him, and they're trying to get forward to touch him, and he's sitting there almost in like a meditative trance, and they are not able to touch him, but they're yelling as loud as they can.
I'll come in and I'll, as very, very quietly, just say, stop.
You'll be okay.
They look at you and they're like, he should be sleeping. He needs his rest. And they are like the cranky old ladies going off on you that he is not resting.
All right, I'm gonna do the Gandalf Lord of the Rings thing where the room darkens. Like, I said stop.
And they're not listening to you. They're oblivious. They're too busy being mad. But you notice the Klashtar raises his hand and they are pushed right outside the tent.
Aww.
Psychic.
And he opens his eyes and he goes, it's a pleasure to see you again.
Yes, see again.
And he opens his hand and you see a couple of crates slide out and blankets on top of them, and he offers you a place to sit.
I'll go and sit myself closely, I guess, and say, so we've learned of your past, who you are. I've yet to learn your name.
Just as I've yet to learn yours.
Those around me and the gods call me Rogi.
Those who know me and know of my people call me Neskar.
Yes, please type that because I take notes.
I am aware.
And I'm running out of note space. What are you doing? Yeah, my name is NASCAR. I like to go real fast and turn to the left.
Yep.
Was it something about three wrongs don't make a right, but three lefts do? He turns to your companions, and they are.
You met me before. He knows me.
Don't think we introduced ourselves.
I did.
I was gonna say, I'm
did.
the first one who got his name.
Yes, I didn't get his name, but I did introduce myself. I wasn't interested in his name. I needed other information.
What kind of a good character are you?
She's a frustrated one. She's walking with Odom.
You demand justice in the name of,
that guy. That guy.
He goes, then I was not here. Are you confused?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just sort of lean forward over Akira's shoulder and say, I think he was a little out of his mind with the drugs.
He hears you pretty clearly and turns to you and goes, out of my mind is right. Drugs are not involved. And he opens his eyes bright, like wide, and you see a pupilless and irisless eye, like both of his eyes staring at you. And he tells you,
what color is it?
His eyes are white.
Okay.
They're pure white. And he tells you, I may have been here physically, but I was busy in the courts with my father.
I should take you to Amager.
Oh.
So
how's your father?
I'm going to give the most menacing glance to Agera.
he like turns away. He turns to Agara and very solemn. Like you can tell there's no emotion coming out of him now.
Mm-hmm.
And says, "He is as he's always been."
So throughout the years, even with your psionic capabilities, he was not able to find you.
It is our understanding that is why we were never allowed to come to for any length of time. And when we were usually in pain.
Yes. So I'm to understand that you do not. Thank you. Do not understand who took you or why necessarily.
My father.
Were you able to determine that from your discussions with your kin?
My father believes it makes sense as to the demands that he has received.
And what were those by chance? Putting you on the spot.
Huh?
I said putting you on the spot.
No, he's literally just kind of staring at you, like debating should he say this or should he not.
If it has to do with Res Tarka, that we're aware of the situation and we're trying to deal with it.
Bez.
Bez Tarka.
Sorry, this is a robot emotion that I've still yet not to accomplish from you humans. B's and R's. I get them confused so often.
They're similar.
Yes.
If that is the stranger that approached my father, then you could be correct.
Looks kind of like a hairless gorilla.
Well, technically, he looked very similar to yourself, just
Fleshy.
not psionic. Well, yeah.
You have pupils.
Kalashtar, they're basically human, but psionic freaks.
That and they're like linked to their former, like there's a link between them and like centuries past. It's really kind of weird how that works.
Really?
Yeah, I think that's right.
I thought that was Devas.
For some reason, I was picturing Kalashtar as those crystal guys. I don't know why.
No, those are shard mines.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna get all technical. Anyway, but yeah, so Kalashtar are just a little. They're psionic freaks. We'll just leave it at that.
Who look like humans, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, they, given your gifts, I could assume you understand what a human is.
We are familiar with the stranger more so than others.
All right. Okay. So you were saying the demands. I'm going to kind of raise my scaly eyebrows.
Again, he starts debating should he say this or should he not.
I'm sure they had to do with the portals, right?
He looks at you and goes, I have no clue what you're talking about.
I'm just going to give the largest sigh possible.
I'm just going to cock my head a little bit and let's leave it at that.
Whoa. Oh, I lost all sound for a second. That was weird.
Actually, I'm going to look at Roji and kind of just nod. And
I'll just do one of these, you know, the yeah, I got it kind of things. And basically, if there were demands that threaten your kingdom, and amplify it by your entire world, and that is effectively what we are trying to deal with and thwart.
I understand that. But that would not excuse me divulging this detail.
He's being cagey because he doesn't know who we are. Show him the string.
You say string and he looks at you like you're crazy.
Oh, the string. I thought you said strength.
I'll kind of reach back into the inner sanctum of the dimension that is my pack and pull out the twine that just is kind of bursting with magical wonder. So, we need this information to continue, and it is in the best interest of your family, your kingdom, and our group to deal with this together.
I think him.
No.
You said you
Just
pulled the twine out of your pack?
Yeah.
Okay. How are you holding it? Like, is it looped like around your fingers, or you're like, or are you just kind of like holding it like this?
Like that or something.
So it's like
and dangling
like this, like that.
Sure, kind of.
Okay. It's crucial. It's crucial. You'll see. It is important. He looks and goes, "Where did you get that?"
Quid pro quo.
He raises an eyebrow at you and goes, "You think that'll be okay in this company?"
Well, let's put it this way. They did rescue both of us.
From the back, you just hear, "Yeah!"
I'll just kind of get the, you fucking kidding me right now kind of glance.
He closes his eyes, and you get the feeling that he's not there exactly.
Yeah.
You just get this very serene, peaceful feeling that fills the room. And it lasts for just a moment, and then when he opens his eyes again, he looks and he goes, "Apparently, we are on our way to see my father." He has questions for you.
You're going to make one detour on the way.
If you refer to the cells of where you found us,
Yes.
my father has already been there.
I see.
The army was dispatched at dawn.
Okay. Then yes, a meeting would be beneficial to everyone.
He has sent riders to escort us safely to Scioden. If
Okay.
that's where you would like to go.
Yes, that is acceptable.
He turns to Roji, or he turns from Roji to Agera and Odom, and just looks at you like, "Is that where you want to go?"
As long as it gets us closer to Vestarka.
May the stranger burn for his presence.
May he burn for many more things than that.
I wasn't planning on burning him. I'm just going to finger the handle of my axe.
Nescard closes his eyes again, and you can sense that he has gone back into a meditative state.
Okay.
Even though you guys are still sitting there.
No, that's fine. I'll kind of glance back. Even if Vestark was not last seen in Sidon, this is easily the best lead we have.
Yeah.
And worst case scenario, really, Alex, really.
That was a little distracting with the cat.
Evil kitty.
Next time, Gadget. Next time.
I can't really do that. I just have a little. Hold on, let me get really close. It'll make it look really. Hold on, let me see if I can make him just like bite at the camera, and we'll be. Here we go. That's evil. There you go. Sorry.
If he had not been seen there recently, he still has dealings inside him. And this, to me, logically, seems like the path of least resistance.
Are you guys still in the room? Or are you guys outside?
I'm still in there.
Yeah.
Where?
Anyone? Agree, disagree, Bueller?
Yeah.
So I guess what we're waiting for the riders to show up.
Yeah. I don't think we have any other good options at the moment.
I mean, worst. We could tie up other things in the town, and you know, I know it's unlikely that we would find something dealing with Vestarka or you know other things. It still might be worth investigating, like if there were other kidnappings, etc., which I'm guessing there weren't, but I don't
When
know.
it comes to that kind of stuff, it doesn't really matter where we are. We're still going to be looking for the same kind of thing. I mean,
Correct.
we were trying to figure out which way to go because we didn't have any other leads, but this is another lead, so I think going to Sidon is fine.
I have, you know, I'll lower my voice some. I've been avoiding the potential use of divine intervention, but that is a possibility. Out of character. I do have a power that lets a ritual that lets me do that shit, and it's cool. It lets me ask a question and it gets a truthful answer.
Oh right.
From the gods.
Yeah.
Oh, Em, where are you going? Bird.
I think we should go decide and find out what we can find out there first, and then I'll give us more information to go on.
Yeah, that sounds fine. So I guess since the Kalashtar doesn't seem to be, you know, coming back to reality, I'll go back to the inn, so to speak, and oh, whoops, I moved Arlie. Tough shit, Arlie, you're going to the inn.
What?
You wanted to go there anyway.
Yeah, I was gonna go to the inn, and
we walk outside, and Roji just grabs my arm and is like, "We're going this way."
yeah, pretty much.
Like what?
Gather remaining supplies, food stores that they'll let us take, etc. Yes.
Yeah. On the way out, if the gnolls are still outside, I'll apologize for them and tell them that the prince or the dude, I don't remember his name now, the dude is fine.
The dude abides.
Yes.
Sorry, I gotta take care of something really quick.
Okay.
Or I'm still here, but I gotta take care of this like right now.
No problem.
Okie dokie. Yeah, no, don't eat my microphone. Okay, so we are going back to the inn, correct? Yes?
Sure.
Making sure I'm on the right page. And it is now... I would say it's probably close to late afternoon-ish. And you would hear rumors starting, like on your way back to the inn, you would hear people talking about how the king is coming, and how they need to make things ready for him. And you see people just bustling around. You see the beginnings of like another tent getting ready to go up, and like this one much larger than the one that you're in. You see what looks like they're actually like moving some of the huts. It almost seems to make way to prepare everything, so that there is room for him.
Okay.
And yeah, and that's it. What is everybody doing now, other than just going back to the inn?
I think we're just killing time waiting.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. We'll just fast forward then, because I can't come up with anything to pass the time.
Alright, I'm good now. Sorry.
So in the time that you're waiting for the king to arrive, they turn around. They end up building another tent for the king.
Ooh. It looks like our tent. Yay!
Ah, it's bigger.
Is the king.
Yeah.
It's good to be the king.
Why did we get the royal treatment?
We're not royal.
Royal.
Piffles.
I may look like I'm silver, but I am not actually silver.
The tent goes up. The people of the town begin bustling around, and they're preparing everything as far as food goes. They're making sure, like, you actually like haven't really seen a whole lot of livestock. All of a sudden, you see people from the outskirts from the outside farmlands bringing in lambs, chickens, goats. You see a couple cows come in, like all of this stuff coming in droves. And just before dusk, you hear a trumpet off in the distance. Not quite like that. Not a fanfare trumpet. You hear, but it sounds like an alerting trumpet, but nothing.
Happy.
Yeah, nothing super cheerful or dun, 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 nothing like that. And you, if you were in the center of the town or anywhere near where Nezcar was staying, you would see him exiting his room to a greeting of bombarding horses. You would actually hear them. It would almost sound like a stampede coming into the town. It would be a team of roughly 30 horses, 25 men on horseback with 5 additional horses with them. And you would see the king, the queen, and you would also see the son of Nezcar arrive with this drove of militia.
How large is the militia?
It's a team of like what is it, 22?
22?
Yeah,
okay.
22.
Okay. I'm just going to kind of come out of the tent or whatever and watch. I mean, it might be interesting just to see like the rekindling, the everything, this and that. Like,
I want to gawk.
Yeah, something like that. Like the time for business will come. Like, it doesn't have to be right now.
Yeah.
Right. I am not making 22 dots.
Aw, come on.
If you really want me to.
You mean this isn't going to be like the last session of my campaign with all water elementals?
All the water elementals. Woo.
Yeah.
That reminds me, I still need to read the 4th book of the Neverwinter series.
That reminds me, I need to read the first book past the Ghost King.
Come on!
I'm sorry, dude. I've had so many other books like on the agenda.
Yeah, I know. Well, I've had the last one sitting there for over a year, so.
The ultimate like first world problem is just like, they pile up.
Mm-hmm.
I have no clue how many dots I've made now.
20.
Okay, there we go. There's 20. There's now 20 militia. The number has decreased because I don't feel like making more dots. We're not done.
It's only 2 more. No, please don't. Seriously, like.
You had to open your mouth.
Way to go!
These are the 2 that are bringing in the extra horses.
Yeah.
There you go. There's your militia. And they're more evenly lined up and everything than that. But this is just for, keeping track of where they're all at, I suppose.
Are all of these Kalashtar?
Kalashtar?
Kalashtar.
Yes. Every single one of these are Kalashtar.
Okay. Yay.
Now I have that freaking trumpet fanfare stuck in my head from Robin Hood Men in Tights. Thanks.
I have the one from the Fox Robin Hood, where the king's coming through and it goes da 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 da, and it's like dun 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 dun. It goes on.
Given it's been a few years since I've seen that one.
What?
I just know the Little John, from Men in Tights, like.
Yeah.
Shut up, you fools!
Okay. Moving right along. You would find that you would have watched the king and the queen and Neskar's son dismount, and the queen would embrace her son. The Neskar's son would also embrace him, and the father would nod to him, and Neskar would nod in return. And you would see like the father and the son would stare at each other for a moment, but not like there would be no emotion in the stare back and forth. Like it would almost seem like they were having a conversation, but they weren't saying anything.
Because they are. Sounds.
Goddamn psychics.
I know.
And then
That's
my hair. Get my hair out of your mouth. And then you would watch him also. You would see the entire team of people heading go over to their tent. And then what looked nearly like a parade.
Parade.
Okay, parade, got it.
I'm moving him. Bear with me. Be patient, people.
Jesus.
Jeez.
No, I was installing a new driver and both my monitors went black for a second. I was like, what the heck?
Just don't break your mouse.
I was about to say, unless you're using Linux, you probably shouldn't do that, like when you plan on actually using your computer.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
Because, let's face it, all of other operating systems require, reboots.
It looks like apparently Aurora crashed.
Okay, while you're parading, I'm going to bio.
Okay. The
Parade's done.
I wasn't going to say anything. I think he's yelling at the dog.
No, that's his TV.
Yelling at the dog sounded better. Look at that. He missed the entire parade and the disbursement. That's funny, my keyboard. Stack. There you go.
Stupid dog. Stay headphones.
Sorry.
Sorry. What are you doing up? Get down. Get down. Look. Come here. Come here. Whoop. You're good.
Alright, so, they paraded and dispersed.
Yay.
And there are 2 guards standing out in front of the entrance of the tent.
Guards.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm. Oh, did the prince meet up with him? That was the whole...
Is he?
Okay,
Yeah, he's in the tent too.
Right. Okay.
He's the orange too. Yeah.
Oh, he's the orange too. Awesome.
Jeez, Arlie. Did you not pay attention last Sunday?
It was like a whole week ago.
There it was.
Alright, Roji, you want to go talk to them?
How long has the thing been going on? Like their, what do you call it?
Well.
Like when did they come? Because I'm sure it was like a long journey to get there. Like, because when we first met with the prince, it was like midday.
Well. He essentially woke up shortly after you did.
Well, no, I'm saying like by the time that people went to go talk to the farmer people, it was after mid-morning, because that was like when people left was after mid-morning.
Yeah.
Right. But he's been in constant communication with his father since he woke up this morning.
Okay.
So his father essentially dispatched. It would have been shortly after you and Odin left that tent.
Oh, okay.
So this would be
Early evening, maybe.
I would say probably more like late evening.
Okay.
Not quite sunset yet. But
like the 5 o'clock kind of.
5, 6-ish, yeah.
5 o'clock shadow, yeah.
Yeah. But before you guys even get the chance, like while you're like talking, you guys are talking about going over to see them, a guard comes to you and invites you to dine with them.
It would be our pleasure.
Yeah.
And I'm going to look back to Odom and say, I know you don't eat, but be good. sit with us and everything. And then, you know, I'll go behind the guard and go with them or whatever. Where am I going exactly? Like in the tent, or where
Yeah.
am I at is fine, or what?
It would be actually like in the center of the tent, technically, but I'm not really overly particular. Well, technically, yeah. Well, that was for the whatever.
Who was who exactly? The dots, just for my clarification, so that was AFK for a couple of minutes.
That's okay. The number 1 that is blue is the king. Number 2 is the queen.
Mm-hmm.
The A is the sun.
Mm-hmm. And 2 is the Clash Star. Got it.
You got it.
Well, they're all Clash Star.
Well, yeah.
Shut up.
The rescued.
Why don't you just shut up?
You have Carlin sitting outside the tent.
Yeah, I figured royalty wouldn't really like a Fey Panther at the table.
Okay. Before I come in, you know, I will, you know, stop our group or whatever and give my bow, and then say, greetings. I am, what is my full official name? Damn it. I haven't actually used like my last name.
What the hell is my name?
I just haven't used,
I don't even know.
I haven't used my actual last name in a while for in character. Greetings. I am Roji Zerakai. with me are my companions from furthest, closest to you, Hawthorne, Agera, and Odom.
They actually, you notice that the king and queen nod to all of you in turn in unison.
Okay. It is our greatest pleasure to be in your company.
They nod to you again.
May we sit and join?
They kind of do a sweeping motion with their hands to kind of signify yes, sit with us.
Okay. Then
I land on the table.
I'll do.
And you're worried about me screwing things up.
No, as he does that, I'm kind of like closing my eyes in the smallest embarrassment. Just like.
I turn towards him and I say, well, if I sit on a chair, nobody sees me. I can't reach the table
need
either.
To see you.
And as you actually say that, I'm just going to kind of, wide eyes, like, okay, shut up.
The queen, completely stone-faced, looks to Hawthorne and goes, we can get you a booster seat.
There's a little bit of a glare towards the queen.
She gives him she actually looks at you and gives you like a little smirk and turns back to Roji.
Sorry, one second. I'm dealing with another site thing. Okay. So, I will be blunt, since I'm sure, how do I say this? Since I'm sure that, beating around the bush and hiding your intentions is not something common or really welcomed amongst your kin.
I don't think it'd work on him either.
Well, yeah, that being nice about that.
That was in character.
Oh, okay. And I'm like, yes, thank you, Hawthorne. You have information we would like to know as it pertains to our journey, and it would both benefit us both to stop the individual involved.
The king turns to you and just kind of takes in the situation for a moment and not quite sizes everybody up, but just kind of analyzes the situation. There is much you don't know, young ones.
And I'll lean forward and say, there is much that I desire to know, Your Highness.
I'll lean forward and say, I'm not that young.
I just, do the sidelong glance.
And you notice he's very casual about the whole thing with Hawthorne. He just looks over to him and goes, you are not the first pixie we've encountered, nor will you be our last, young one.
Also a butterfly.
Whoa, hold up.
You are young to hear. You are young to this world. Because I know you are not from here.
Yes.
And he kind of does like a sweeping motion to include him and the queen and his son. Because we are everywhere. We saw when you came. We saw when he came. And he turns and kind of nods towards Hawthorne. And the ones that came with him. And the ones that came before him. we saw. We saw the destruction that came. We saw. There is much you do not know. When she sent us over years ago, little did we know what was to happen.
I'll lean forward again and say, so why are we stalling with the information? If there's so much information and so much that we need to know, why are you withholding so that...
And he kind of he interrupts
hinders.
you. He interrupts you and holds his hand up, and gnolls come in with the food. And they lay out this huge, just plethora of food, and he gets the attention of the head servant and states and tells them, "We'll call when your services are needed. We cannot be interrupted from this point forward."
During this entire time, I did not take my eyes off the king. I'm just staring. Because I'm not pleased by that at all.
And the gnoll takes acknowledgement of the king's request and exit and states, there will be no more interruptions. We promise. Everything has been taken care of. We will ensure that nobody enters in without being requested first. And he leaves. And he looks at you and he goes, "There are ears that do not need to hear the words being said in this room." And then he gives you kind of this nod of, "Please proceed."
Where do you want to start?
Where do you want to start, young one?
You already know that.
And, as he gives the young one, I give sort of a menacing glance, and I don't try to hide it.
You do not understand.
Then help us understand.
Do you know who sent you here? Do you know what she sent you into? Or did you walk blindly through like every other person before you?
Yeah, pretty much that.
Yep.
Yes.
My people were sent here centuries ago by her. We remember. Our souls remember. We will never forget.
As a slight out of character thing, has this end of the world thing literally been going on for fucking hundreds of years? And the assassination thing? Because if it is, I'm a little mad with the story.
I'm not telling. Don't
another
ruin
question.
what I've been building.
Are timelines traveling at the same pace, or have we been here for they were sent here hundreds of years ago, their time, but subjectively 2 days ago our time?
No, this is not Narnia. Time travel's the same. Time's at the same speed either world.
Honestly, I thought that would have been a lot more interesting to ask in character from someone who has intelligence of 8.
I have no idea how I would phrase that if I was intelligence of 8.
It doesn't matter. That's hilarious and amazing.
Does time work?
Is our days like your days? So the queen looks at all of you and gives a very sorrowful sigh. She opened the portal to save our world. Well, to save those of us who were left in our world. There weren't many. Those of us who escaped, well, you see us for what we are now. We weren't always like this. We were amazing.
So, what you're telling me is that Kalari, the mage who sent us here, is not native to our world.
She's not native to any world.
Oh my god, are you guys from a third dimension now?
She's a goddess.
Oh, great.
And the person responsible for all of this, is he yet akin to her, threatening any and all worlds?
He is threatening. When he came through, he carried something with him that we could not tell what it was until now. When he came to us years ago, threatening to kill our son if we did not let him through, saying he needed to save his, and now we find that the child isn't even his. That he has stolen this child. And you see, like, almost, you see the queen on the brim of insanity. Like, she looks like she is losing her mind, and she just stops talking and just sits there and lingers at that moment.
I need AFK one moment. I'm sorry. I'll be right back.
I'm gonna hold my question until she comes back, just because.
That's fine.
Also, sorry, I've been super spacey with other things. Like, there's a guy on Heroes Nexus who is easily the worst, like, forum person that I've ever encountered. And statement, like, since the site came to, like, literally 95% of our bans and, like, stuff has been with this guy.
I was gonna say, that's saying something considering some of the people we see.
Oh, no. Not even close, dude. No. Like, the majority of his stuff is, like, raging gore porn.
Oh my.
Like, 100% of it is.
Those teeth to yourself. Hey.
Right, back, sorry.
It's okay, we were talking about raging gore porn.
What?
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, back in character, because my character would not discuss that sort of thing.
Quite confused.
I know the queen is kind of out of it, but I still kind of stare her down a little bit, like, as softly as I can, you know, but intently. And say, what did he bring?
Her child.
The goddesses?
That is the weapon that will end everything that she had described to us.
She turns and looks to King like, they don't know. They know none of this.
The goddess appears to be a little bit stingy with the information.
Goddess appears to piss me off a lot.
How did Vestarka make the original transition in the first place? Was he sent by the same goddess? Because it would seem to suggest that she's just mucking about with everything.
The king pipes in. Is, she used to come here before he was taken. The ones that came before, the ones that came shortly after him, said that she had given her son her powers so that he could rule like a great king, like his father.
Dare we ask who the father was?
That's in character.
Yeah,
that was in character.
Out of character, I'm pretty much starting to figure this out, and this is not good.
King turns to Hawthorne and goes, "You have a king, do you not?"
Everybody's got kings.
Our world had a king. That was the stipulation of our coming to defend him.
The High King, I assume. I guess you have a high king, or just one king?
The ruler of rulers, as you would put it.
Does he have a wife?
Not
no.
that we are familiar with. I mean, out of character, would we have known this? Because, initially
you would
don't know this.
He doesn't have a queen. He is not married.
Okay, then, yeah, okay.
So, Goddess and our High King have a child. She grants the child her powers to transfer the realms. Vestarka kidnaps that child, uses that child's power to get here and start mucking things about, so she's been sending people here to try and get her son back. If I'm putting things together correctly.
I'm going to very confusingly glance at Odom, with his intelligence of 8. Yes. That is what I was going to say, and kind of glance back at the king in inquiry of his correctness,
Sadly, the child is capable of much more than traversing realms and worlds. Much more.
So, find Darka, kill him before he unlocks the kid's powers.
The kid is a baby.
A baby.
He's but a few years old.
How old does a half god have to be before it can start to do things?
Days old, they made it here. At least that's our understanding. We've yet to hear from her. You were the last that she sent through, and I don't know if she'll have the power to do it again.
Doesn't really change our plan. Still find Vestarka, make him stop breathing. In this case now, bring the child back.
Well, it wasn't necessarily to make him stop breathing, but to,
I'm in favor of
cover
making him
the
stop
item.
breathing.
Yeah.
And, I wasn't planning on letting him go.
Someone who intends to bring about destruction of any and all worlds and has committed these heinous of crimes cannot continue to be.
Well, be free.
No, cannot continue to be. As someone who has lived the majority of their life under the oppression and prison of other beings, he would prefer death than anything else. Than anything that we could ever do to him to keep him.
Justice isn't always about giving the persecuted what they want.
3-1, you lose, he dies.
If you can catch him, if you don't kill him, he'll kill you.
Then help us do it.
We can only interfere so far. I cannot put my family at risk more than they already have been.
You can tell us where he is.
Last, he came to Syoden demanding use of the portal or he would kill our son.
When was this?
A little over a year ago. Went up to Lago. It's our understanding he was heading up to see the giants.
That is no help.
Out of character, he brought a cave troll.
I want to be of more help, but maybe the djinn can do better, but this is what we have.
Fucking genies, God. Out of character, sorry.
It's okay.
Doesn't really change our plans. We were still going to head to Lego.
Yep.
Well, not necessarily. That was an option.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now everything points that direction.
Correct. Well, the latest does. I mean, we could cheat the system, but I don't want to do that.
You'll be the...
Everything we have points that direction. I mean,
right. Yes.
Of course, everything we have is like a year old, and that means he could be anywhere on the planet or another planet.
That's why I don't want to do... Well, I do and don't want to do divine intervention.
Wasn't that an option too? Get here and use divine intervention.
That was my plan a few sessions ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can still do that.
Well, I was hoping by talking to these people we'd have a better idea of what we're having, so we can ask a better question, or you can ask a better question.
Yeah.
How much of this is in character? How much of this is out?
So far, all of mine has been out.
Yeah,
Okay.
me too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
He's just along for the ride.
Okay, back in character, I'll say, so give us everything you possibly can within your capabilities and willingness or involvement for your kin.
When he came to us, the child was not yet walking. And this is the queen talking. Child was not yet walking. But he spoke.
The child?
No, the stranger spoke.
Okay.
Sorry. Of going to that giant, but not to their home. He was looking for something.
Where are the giants?
They're in the north.
In the Frostlands north of Lago.
Farther north than Lago.
In the Frostlands, as I understand it.
Some of it is... Not all of it is giants. But above Lago is giants.
See.
Take heed, not every frost giant is friendly.
I'll kind of give a knowing smirk. In our world, there are no friendly frostbite.
The capital is safe because they seek the interest of the elders.
Elders of who?
Here, it is not ruled by a king. It is ruled by elders that are chosen from selected cities. When one passes, a different city is selected for an elder. By keeping favor with the current elders, the next one to pass, when that slot opens, they have a better chance of having their elder selected. It makes for a dangerous life, but apparently it keeps peace. Or so.
I see. And this is worldwide? That this is,
The selection is made from any city, any town. It could be a small town like where the centaurs are, up to the ice giants. Even the dryad have a chance.
I see.
That is why we have not so angry or death-seeking people.
I see. That, in turn answers a much larger question I feel that many of us have had in the back of our minds as our worlds, and I'm sure your own, differ very much to this.
It's my current level of understanding that she created this world for those who were losing theirs.
The mage Kalari created this world.
That's our current level of understanding, but we're not sure.
Well, she is a goddess.
Oh wow, I need a second. Ooh. Man, you're laying it on really fucking thick right now.
You wanted answers. Just remember that. You wanted answers.
Yeah, but damn.
Take good notes.
Uh-huh. I'm running out of space, man.
Get a notepad.
I know,
Just wait till we find out how much of this is wrong.
Oh, dude, shut up, no.
You have now given her an idea.
Well, I did say our present level of understanding.
She keeps saying that, which is why I'm saying, like, okay, some of this is not right.
I don't know if we could.
Keyboard trays hurt.
Yeah. I don't know if we've answered all of your questions. Oh, we lost him. Radix disappeared. Kapoof!
I see it.
I'm here, hold on. I'm here, hold on. Okay, sorry. PDA.
I heard something yelling.
That was my lovely wife. Our smaller dog, our younger dog, who is larger than our older dog, he has a thing with stairs. He's the guardian of the stairs. And anytime she wants to go to bed, I mean, he knows, and she's carrying the cat upstairs. He has to, like, nip it, heels and, complicate the walking up the stairs.
My stairs.
It's the fucking gauntlet.
So he has a toll, basically, that must be paid.
Yeah. And it's in flesh and blood and love.
Yeah. Pet my head, I bite your feet.
Yeah. All of the above, yes.
Yes. The king looks at all of you and says, I don't know what other questions you have or if I've answered them.
Yes, you do.
I have one very important further question. Are your people in charge of the laws and ongoings of the worm tunnels?
My son mentioned...
It is a taboo subject, but it must be mentioned.
My son mentioned the bracelet you carry.
Yes, I do.
That also, in his mentioning of that, it implies that you already know that answer. You know we have control of that wormhole.
We know, we just want to use it.
Without complications or, for lack of a better phrase, reprimands.
If things really are this serious, we need to use whatever means we can to accomplish our goals.
My accomplice is correct.
How else would I get you to let go?
In a world as foreign as this, who knows? There are many things, as you say, we still very much do not.
There are many things that we still do not know. Yes. We will get you to let go.
Okay. I don't... What can you tell us to prepare us for Lego?
Your little friend here, he points at Hawthorne. Imagine him on a bigger scale.
That doesn't prepare us for anything.
Fairies.
They are jinn. They are the Ifrit.
Yes, genie folk. I'm familiar from our own world.
Are they as much of a trickster in your world as they are in ours?
Trickster would indicate good intentions. The atypical jinn in our world are as manipulative and destructive as devils.
Manipulative, indeed. The king turns to Hawthorne and goes, "Are all of your tricks humorous to everyone?"
Yes, absolutely.
I give the worst look ever.
Arlie, are you shaking your head in character?
Yes.
The king looks around and looks back to Hawthorne and goes, "Others would not agree."
Well, they're never done with ill intent.
Out of character, too soon, bro. Too soon.
The king kind of gives him a very wry smile and turns back to the three of you and says, "He might as well be our jinn. They are tricksters."
I see.
But not malevolent.
There are penalties for that.
Okay. Sounds better than our jinn.
The leader of the jinn is trying to push for an elder position.
So they're being good for political ends right now.
That seems a reasonable assumption.
The best way to put it. The djinn that well, do things that are malicious are dispatched of.
Sorry, go on.
So Lego is rather safe.
Do you have any contacts in Lego in which we can start our journey? Our search, if you will.
There was a shapeshifter. I hope you remember.
I don't have any shapeshifters linked in my notes.
Regar?
Oh, that's a Oh! You told it! Bam! You never told us what it was. Bam!
You recall?
No, that was completely out of character. I would never actually connect that. Yeah, my totally solemn and, tranquil character goes, yeah, bitch, what? Yeah. Yes, we are very familiar with Regar.
They have already made their way to Lego.
All kind of, in a resigned sort of under my breath thing, say, of course they have.
Not a fan?
We have not quite seen eye to eye on everything.
The queen kind of chuckles a little bit. She is an acquired taste.
I will smile very knowingly to the queen. That's a very insightful way to phrase it, my lady. With my, my fedora, with my, as I say, my lady.
She is heading up our... what is the term that I should use? Chapter in Lego.
Chapter meaning the keepers of the tunnels, or I'm, leaving this open for her to finish.
Was there not a word that Regar gave you?
Oh, keeper of the notes.
Fuck. No, I don't have anything regarding that. A special word? No, I don't have that. Or like a kin?
Really?
No,
you just broke the campaign.
I was going to say the only thing I have is the whole we need help, ask a red hooded and tell them that we're looking for red car.
No, I mean... No, I don't...
A redheaded you're looking for what?
The only thing I recall is we were told if we are in need of help to find a red hooded person and tell them that we are looking for Redgar or Red.
Yeah, I knew that, but I
something.
I knew there was the like guild or whatever of people that we could ask for them and it'd be easy, but I didn't write down anything or recall anything that had a name to that.
Yeah, the only name I had with that is the Redgar one.
I don't think we had a name for it, but I think it was just her people that was how we got by. So she may be heading up their chapter in Lego.
Right, we didn't have a name for it. Like, yeah, find red. The last note that I had about that was find the red hooded quote unquote group if we need Redgar.
My notes are different, so maybe I overnoted. So I'm checking. I'm like, ooh, did I say that or did I not say that?
I don't think you said that.
Okay.
I'm pretty thorough with my notes.
I am not.
I remember the Red Hood stuff. I remember being told to look for them for help. I don't remember any kind of a name being attached to them. I thought we just assumed that it was Regar's group of people, the changelings.
I mean, frankly, at that time, we didn't know they were changelings. We just assumed they were astrals.
Yeah.
Which
it's like
we have discovered is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is not something that ever came about.
Oh, now you have it.
Whatever the fuck that is.
Now you have it.
Yeah, that is definitely.
I feel like I would have remembered that.
Yeah, that is something I would have written down.
Yeah, pretty much anything we'd have to ask how to spell.
Shazay Nevo.
What?
Bless you.
Shazay Nevo.
Okay. I will ask that next week when it's relevant.
Right. The queen turns to you after realizing that Regar had not given you this word and is kind of stunned. You think maybe she looks a little shocked, but not entirely certain. She should have said this. She says she tells you this word.
The story of our travel so far is people not telling us what they should be telling us.
Yeah, I'll kind of give him one of those, like, knowing, like, no, I am the keeper of lore amongst our group. That is not information that we have received. We were told to look and seek a red hooded cloak or group and to seek Regar, but that we were never given a formal name.
The Red Hoods are not what you would think of when it comes to hood.
That is not at all helpful.
It's not a worn item, but it is not an item that can be taken off.
Does it look like a worn
scalp.
The queen turns to her son and nods at him, and he stands up and he lifts his sleeve, and you see it looks similar to a tattoo that is worn upon him. That looks like a cloak, and it is red.
To the notes.
The prince turns to everybody and says, Regar must have been in quite a hurry to get away if she negated this information.
I'll kind of glance around to my fellow travelers and say, if she gave no indication of such.
Well, the village had been razed to the ground by an army of Driders and Minotaur and such.
Well, no, when we left her, it was after she showed us, the lamb's blood thing, and she was just like, oh, okay, well, see you guys, like...
I had the impression that when she set us on our way and left us, that she was in a hurry to leave for some reason.
Oh, okay. That could have been. I mean, I just may have misinterpreted.
When you arrive in Lago, she will be the first to greet you. Sort of her. You'll know it's her, but not really, no. We aren't sure what shape she took upon arriving in Lago.
Shapey, wapey, wibbly, wobbly stuff.
We think she took on a djinn or an ifrit, but we have not gotten confirmation for either.
I see.
There are 10 Kalashtar in Lago that are with her and the residents of Lago that are with us.
I see.
There is rumor that the holes will be shut down.
How do we avoid detection?
Why do you think the wormhole is in Syoden?
In Lago.
Why do you think we have Kalashtar in Lago?
Magic.
I see. So there's. Are you fucking kidding me, Kat?
What just happened?
Did she spill your beer?
No, damn close. No, like, really? Sorry, the way our desk right here is configured is it's two separate desks in a corner. So there's like a small corner like that's open that has a lamp there. And she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna jump onto the desk onto a keyboard and then just like hop down into like the endless pit that has the lamp in it."
Nice.
Really?
Shh, it's quiet in here. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Who the fuck is this? Harley, you're killing me.
What? What did I do?
Because you added me to your circle, some other people have started adding me to those circles.
Oh, sorry.
No one will ever add you again.
Good.
Wait, people use Google Plus?
I only have it so we can do like Google Hangouts with my parents, my folks whenever they're in Florida.
I can unadd you. I don't know.
Oh, the deed is done.
Sorry.
The royal family all stand at the same time and turn to everyone and say, "We will be leaving at first light. Prepare yourselves. We will not wait."
Sounds ominous.
And they stand up, they all nod. The queen and the young prince exit first, followed by the king and his son. Leaving you guys in the center of that tent by yourselves.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, where the hell are they going for the night?
Oh, they're still technically in the tent, but they've exited
Just not
that
in
room
the room. Yeah.
into their private facilities.
Gotcha.
Copy, copy.
So I guess let's get some sleep and head out in the morning.
That seems very reasonable, yes.
And I feel like we should probably get up early to do our morning meditation since they're leaving at first light.
As a note, like out of character, I do my meditation at first light because I worship the sun god. Like
I know, that's why I was pointing it out to you. We're leaving then. You can't meditate then.
well, fuck you, because
Worship him in anticipation of the light.
it doesn't work that way.
I mean, I guess you can meditate while we carry you. I don't know.
How are you at meditating on horseback?
Probably very reasonable.
All right, then. Do it on the go.
Yeah. Plus, I still have those teleporting crystals. Bitchin', yeah.
You would like to use them on that.
I know, I'm just saying, like, we could.
Anytime a DM asks that, you're like, you should know it's a bad idea. That's what you want to use it on? Okay.
Totally can. I'm not going to stop you, but seriously, what the hell?
Just saying, yeah.
You may want to think that through. Just saying. Just saying there. Just saying.
I know.
And we are actually gonna.
Nudge, say no more, say no more.
Yeah. We are gonna go ahead and end there for the night because it is 9:30.
Yes.
God, there's so much information.
So I say we need to rename the king Captain Exposition.
I had to give you guys a fill you in session.
You've been complaining for a couple of sessions now that we had no information. Now you're like, there's too much information.
Information overload.
Apparently getting knocked
Pretty
out
much.
and shoved in a cave made him dumber. He couldn't handle it all at once.
I know, man.
That's what you get for taking a week off.
Okay, I gave you the reason why I had no option.
That's fine. I'm just saying. This is what you come back to.
Wait, you were off playing golf?
What?
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 Okay, did I just hear that?
I haven't
Apparently.
played. I
Okay.
haven't played golf in like 14 years.
That's what I was like. You didn't play last week because you were doing golf? What? I misheard what
No,
you said.
like everyone except for my parents, like every single person in my entire family, their birthday falls within like a 3 to 4 week period, and so we just had a big masquerade.
Oh, that's easy to skip.
Masquerade.
Yeah, masquerade.
Do-do-do-do-do.
Yeah,
Great. I'm going to be singing that all night now. Thank you.
masquerade, masquerade.
Oh, that's staying in the video.
Yeah.
What, me singing?
Yeah.
So,
If I knew
I
more
sing real
words.
good.
experience. Who wants experience?
Me.
Nobody.
Me.
Sure.
Give me all the experience.
I want
If
all
we
the
have
excuse.
Well, you guys can have Odom's because he doesn't want experience.
Awesome.
Everybody
He's
get
a robot. He doesn't care.
everybody gets $650 for the day.
650.
650. 650.
So that should put us at 14,550. If my math doesn't suck.
That's what I got.
Yeah.
Also, between now and next Sunday, figure out your horses.
What do you mean?
All y'all's, except for, well, technically even Odom, but not exactly because Odom's horse is going to be pulling him in a cart. But all of you will be receiving a horse to ride to Syodin on.
Yay,
Okay,
a horse.
No horse.
Define figure out your horse though. Like, what is there to figure out?
Is it male? Is it female? What will it look like?
I need
to
a
pick-
Clydesdale.
You get to pick your horse.
I need one of those chariots. Just those little
Yes.
things that you just stand in that the horse draws.
If that's what you
I
want,
mean-
Odom.
Not to be like critical about it, but is that actually relevant?
Well, now it's going to be relevant. Good job.
Yeah, I mean, not to. I really don't want to be like.
Do you find it irrelevant?
I will design a horse
I
for
just
you
find
if
it
you
odd,
want.
is all.
Huh?
Well, I just find it odd. No, don't get me wrong. Like, I grew up around horses. I love horses, but I just in a fantasy like setting like you know.
Fine. You just get a plain black stallion.
No, not a stallion. You should get a gelding.
Now you have to draw a picture and write a 2-page report.
No, I'll show you a picture of one of the horses that my parents owned growing up. That'll work.
Wait, you had horses as a kid?
Technically, my parents owned a share of them. My parents owned race horses.
Oh, get the shit out! I don't like you
In
anymore.
Michigan.
Bye.
In Michigan, yeah.
Nope, go away. I don't like you. I'm not talking.
Why?
This is a level of spoiled. If he was a girl, he would be like, "Oh, honey, I was a princess. I had me some horses and ponies."
Like when I was little, before I realized I was going to be like too tall, but not tall enough to be tall, I wanted to be a racehorse. Like I wanted to be a jockey. That was my goal in life. That's what I wanted to do.
I mean, realistically, the quote-unquote jockeys weren't exactly huge. They were quarter horses, so they were still fucking big horses.
Yeah, but I mean,
Great.
still.
You're killing my wife.
I lost it after the point I heard I wanted to be a racehorse.
That's how upset I am.
No, I mean that's kind of what you get when you grew up in a nice suburb of Michigan, man.
Whatever.
You get a yacht club and horses.
Oh, yes, your horse is relevant.
My horse is a Fey Panther.
Because this is an RP campaign.
Alright, the extra syllables weren't necessary, but alright.
Oh, Misty, my horse is a Fey Panther.
Acceptable. Can you run as fast as
that actually
horse?
also, as long as it actually can keep up.
I don't know, what's the land speed of a horse?
Investigate this
compendium, yo.
I don't feel like typing into a, let's see, horse. Ooh, skeletal horse.
Creature.
Let's see, riding horse. Riding horse's speed is 10. Crap. My panther's speed is only 8. Crap. Well, now it's gonna be like one of those things that showed up in WoW beta where it was animal stacked on animal stacked on animal. So it's gonna be my panther on the back of a horse and me on the back of the panther.
On top of a bear, on top of a shark, on top of a terror-ask.
Yes.
If you would prefer your panther and you can ride in the
cart with Odom.
Chariot with Odom.
I think everybody else can just slow down to a speed of 8.
So he. Well,
I think we'll leave it behind.
Yeah, so long as Odom he can have 2 horses. He can have both of yours and just be in a chariot.
There you go. Oh my!
I need to take feats in chariot combat.
Please don't. That sounds awful. No, like honestly, like mounted combat sounds fucking awful. I've never done it, and it sounds terrible.
Not a fan of mounted combat. Ever. Except in movies.
Yeah. No.
Not a fan.
Yeah.
I don't want to calculate all that crap. No.
No. Let's not do that.
Can I have a skeletal horse?
No.
Why would you have a skeletal horse?
You get a light horse.
Because?
Light horse.
I need a heavy horse.
You need a heavy horse?
technically there's only horse in 4E.
I'm
that
7 foot
familiar
and
with.
like weigh 1 billion pounds. I need a heavy horse.
I think like the max poundage is like 300 for Dragonborn.
It's close to 1 billion.
A light horse can hold up to 450. It's my understanding. Unless it's a light war horse, then it can hold up to 690.
I was about to say I didn't find it.
I want that one. And I'm wearing plate armor, and I have 2 great swords and all of my stuff.
You're gonna move slower.
Actually, a normal load on a riding horse is 237 pounds.
See?
So you guys are gonna slow down anyway.
Unless we just get the heavy horse.
I weigh 250 pounds myself.
Lightweight.
Odin's in a chariot, so really.
I want that horse. Can I have that horse?
Even so, if I'm in the chariot, they still got us to pull it.
You know, maybe I'll just put all y'all's in a cart, drawn by 4 horses, and everything's taken care of.
I'm actually pretty light. I only weigh 300 pounds.
That's surprising.
Yeah, Warforged actually aren't like 800-pound behemoths or something like that.
I weigh 3.
So nobody cares about you.
Yeah, not 300. 3. And alrighty. So just the 650 tonight?
That is correct.
650.
Oh god.